This is a urologist named David Shusterman about the diagnosis that we just now learned that Joe Biden has an aggressive form of prostate cancer, number 44.
It's very unlikely that someone could get annual checkups and not notice a PSA elevation over the past, but this is what I typically would see in a VA hospital, where a patient hasn't had medical attention in 10 years, presents to an emergency room with bone pain, and then they find that it's metastatic prostate cancer. But in the modern age of medicine, especially the fact that he was a former president, he had intensive state-of-the-art, care where we can see prostate cancer, 10 years in the past. So this is, it's very unusual to hear that someone has prostate cancer where they're annually being followed up. And the fact that we just find it at a Gleason 9 is just pretty much unheard of in this day and age of medicine. Even in the, even in the inner city populations, we wouldn't see it.
So you're saying
this
even
bad.
Now, my caller's argument is that it's just so unfair, unkind to question whether or not this diagnosis was just now made. And look, I even said I wish him a speedy recovery. But how in the world can we confidently believe that this prostate cancer is just now being discovered when Jake Tapper's book talks about how the Biden administration and its staffers concealed his decline, lied to the American people about it? But now we're supposed to believe all of a sudden now they're being honest about his physical condition? Really? And it raises all sorts of questions now that the Robert Hur interview has been released about who was really running this country. I played you a couple times the statement made by the current Speaker of the House. Said he had a one-on-one meeting finally with the president. A bunch of aides were around. And he said, Mr. President, can I just talk to you privately? And Biden dismissed everybody. They were horrified that Biden would be privately talking to Speaker Johnson. And he says, please explain to me why you signed this executive order banning the export of LNG. Oh, I didn't do that. Mr. President, yes, you did. No, I didn't. Mr. President, yes, you did. We can go to your secretary and she can print it for you. Yes, you did. Oh, I know what you mean. LNG. Well, I signed an executive order to study. No, you didn't, Mr. President. You signed an executive order to ban it. I know. I'm in Louisiana. And I've got constituents that no longer can export this stuff. And it occurred to me, said Johnson, he wasn't lying. He really didn't remember or didn't know that he signed it. Either way, whether he was forgetful or whether somebody else did it, it raises a question of who in the world was running this country. Who had the nuclear codes? Who was making all these decisions? And when you look at the 2020 election, he's campaigning from his basement. He's using COVID as an excuse. And even then, he couldn't read prompter. He kept making mistakes. He kept getting confused. He kept appearing confused. Back then. So it seems to me there are lots of questions that we ought to be considering, including whether or not some of these decisions that he made, particularly near the waning days, weeks, hours of his administration, were in fact made by him. I mean, honestly, when President Trump got elected, nobody had a problem with exercising the pressure to have him have his doctor examine him, and Dr. Ronnie Jackson, the White House doctor who was a doctor for Obama and a doctor for him, went public, answered every single question because there were so many concerns that people thought Donald Trump was erratic, that he had mental issues, let's put it that way. And so Donald Trump made his doctor available who answered every single question. He had no problem then. But Biden is stumbling, falling up and down Air Force One, falling on stages, can't remember dates, gets leaders confused, and you raise it, and they jump all over you, as Jake Tapper did Laura Trump? Talk about a double standard.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.